Okay, this will be a YouTube video response to 2 comments on the channel. The trouble is not this tiny amount of radiation an hour in Fukushima, because Fukushima has to be a special physics case. I'm mocking the person, but no, let's actually go for this. Please take this nicely. I'm just being a jerk for a minute. It builds up, so it must be more than this. No! Radiation is the emission of energy. Radioactive fallout doesn't build up unless it continues happening. Radiation does not accumulate in the body, because radiation is like radio signals. If it accumulated, the entire universe would be a big ball of nothing but radiation right now. That is not how physics fucking works. Entropy and the fact that it radiates means that it gets lower the further away you are, and it decreases over time. You're doing the homeopathy method. I'm not being nice to you at this point. This is stupid. Now, if you want to say that radioactive material can accumulate in the body, there are a couple of types that can, but you can't just make it radiation. Radio signals accumulate in the body. I'm not being mean to you specifically. I'm talking to everybody. Stop using these generalities when you can go look it up. This is a very, very simple thing to figure out. There are a couple of elements that, when they become unstable, have a half-life, and after that means that they decrease in intensity over time too. It doesn't increase. Stop it! But there are some of them that, if you're exposed to some of them over a period of time, your body will bioaccumulate some radioactive elements. That's real. But unless you're talking extremely specific shit like that, this kind of generality is called being an ignorant jerk on the internet. Stop it! I'm not being nice to you at this point. If you get insulted, I'm sorry, but this is why I have a channel like this. People saying, well, computers are getting faster. Yeah, but you may have noticed your computer runs slower than it used to for the same activity, but not the same software. It's because it's the revenge effect. The more roads you build, the wider the highways, the slower everything goes, because they just get more cars on it. Everything bites back. The Pacific is either dead or dying as far as I know. No, it fucking isn't. Stop watching Beautiful Girl by Dana. Now I'm getting angry. Fucking go look at it. It isn't. And it isn't the fucking radiation. A nuclear power plant on the other side of the ocean cannot cause, on the other side of this continent, on the east coast, a die-out of plankton. It's bacteria or viruses or pH or 100 other things that we already know about. It can't magically all fucking be the fault of Fukushima. This is why I get angry. Why are you getting angry? You need to calm down. And not to this person, but to those other people. Fuck you. I'm tired of you assholes on the internet repeating shit that's wrong. And you know what I got to say to this fucker? It's not your fault. You're listening to propaganda. Propaganda presented as fact is fact until you look up something. There are some radioactive elements that come out of literally every nuclear disaster we know of that do bioaccumulate. All you have to do is test what they are right now and whether they've bioaccumulated. In the face, flying in the face of the fact that it is not bioaccumulating any of this shit. Flying in the face of the fact that the radiation levels are dropping. People keep posting this. It pisses me off. Lots of mutated and tumor-covered fish loads. No, those were false images, and they were taken before Fukushima. Almost all of them were. In fact, on purpose, they looked up things that would look bad, but have nothing to do with it. Dead animals washing up on beaches. They always have. By the way, there was a tsunami. Lots of dead things got pulled out into the ocean. The tsunami actually killed fish in the ocean, too. Larger ones, like sharks and some other creatures, died too. It also caused a major disruption. And there was an earthquake at sea. That actually kills things at the bottom of the ocean. You know that? Next. Are you, Dion and Sean Connery, the biggest Las Vegas conspiracy theorist? If Paddock didn't shoot a thang, well, you know. And one more thing. What was that? If you're familiar with guns, like it, buy it, sell it hobby, like Paddock, do you really need to take notes how far the bullet goes from the window with such perfect view? Yes, because he was trying to figure out the drop to aim over. This is basic practice. If you were learning you've never fired a gun at a long range, have you? Okay, we'll do a bench test. Do you know what a bench test is? No? Next. He was scared that the bullets go down halfway. No, he was just trying to make sure he hit what he was aiming at. Specifically, he was trying to hit a couple of static physical objects, fuel tanks. He was trying to do a precision shot that was actually quite difficult, by the way. And he fucked it up repeatedly. Or he was aiming at something specific that me and Mike Turber will not discuss. Even though it's sitting there on the map. Was he freaking gun rookie? Probably first time gun in his hand? Okay, he's either an expert or he's a gun rookie, depending on what you're trying to say. He did the same thing I do after firing the 1,000th shot out of a test bench firing bullets. You do the calculations because you're not a dumbass. Do you know how to sight? How do you sight a gun in perfectly from a bench? You put up a really big target. You fire it without actually looking through the sights. You force the sights to match what you hit at whatever range you're sighting it for. Then put the scope on, mount it to be right, fire a second shot. If it goes through the same hole, which it probably should if it's a decent gun, you've already sighted it, and you only had to waste 2 bullets. There's a bit of kit for you. Okay, how do you build a bench correctly? You have to hold it down on the muzzle. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. I think I'll just end this now. But for the first person, stop repeating fake facts. It's really pissing me off people do this shit. You never actually go out and look at anything. Forbid TV did all the work for me. I'm just going to refer you to that channel. Go look them up.